Jamal Myers here with Roman Fury after the Tyson Fury versus Usyk press conference. Final discussions with Tyson in the UK before he flies out to Saudi for one of the biggest heavyweight fights of all time. How would you compare how he is mentally, physically in the gym in comparison to how he was before the Ngannou fight?
Yeah, I'd say this was the best Tyson that we've seen in a number of years, to be honest with you. It's the most focused I've seen him. It's the best he's trained. I know because I've been in the gym with him. I'm here 3 times a week alongside with my dad, and he's putting us really through it, and I know my dad trains hard, so he's definitely going to be in the best shape ever, and he's just focused for it, and he's supremely confident, and that's what he should be going into a fight. So I'm confident he can get it done. But again, Usyk, it's going to need to be the best Tyson to beat him, so that's what I got.
I mean, everyone was asked on the table, and your dad was asked as well, their thoughts on how the fight would go. Everyone thought via knockout at some stage of the fight. Your dad thought that Usyk is capable of hurting Tyson at some points during the fight. What do you make of it? Do you think it's going to be dominant? Do you think Usyk can hurt him as well?
I think it's going to be a tough fight, to be honest with you. You know, Usyk, you can't take nothing away from him. He's one of the best in the world. He's very skillfully good at boxing, and I can just see, problems, but this is why he's training so hard, and this is why he's so switched on, because he knows the job at hand. I'm confident Tyson can get the win, but it's not going to be easy in my opinion. And on the end of the day, the better man will win, won't they? But I'm sure it'll be Tyson.
I mean, it's the common consensus that you would target Tyson's cut. We've seen it in the Otto Wallin fight. It wasn't a problem for him. He fought through it, but with a cut like that, there's the obvious doctor's stoppage fear. So Usyk would be wise to target that. Is that something that's been discussed in your camp as well?
Listen, you'd be stupid if you didn't think Usyk should target that. That's probably what his main focus on is the camp. Open the cut up, and then if that opens up, it's really out of Tyson's hands. Like you say with the doctors, they can get involved and they can stop it, can't they? So I believe in destiny, and I believe what will be will be. Tyson can just do his best, and if it happens, it happens. There's nothing much you can do about it, is there? But you can only do your best. But yeah, he'll definitely be targeting the cut.
Obviously, there's a rematch clause which pins Tyson up with Usyk for the next 2 fights. But with everything that is happening with the Riyadh season, the money that's getting thrown around, there has been discussion. I know Bob Arum said it, Eddie Hearn alluded to it as well, that step aside money for Usyk to make the AJ fight happen. There's talks of a September card at Wembley. Do you think that actually could be realistic, or do you see the rematch happen immediately after with Usyk?
It depends on how the fight goes. If it's a completely dominant one-sided fight, then of course I think Usyk should step aside, and I think they'll try and make that happen, to be honest with you, because what a fight that will be, Joshua and Tyson. It's the biggest fight in British boxing history, so it just depends on how the fight goes. But if it goes completely dominant in Tyson's favour, I can see him stepping aside and we're getting that massive fight. But if not, then they are signed for a rematch, and it's up to him if he wants to take it, isn't it?
What do you make of AJ's recent resurgence as well? When you compare his fight with Ngannou and Tyson's as well, common consensus seems to be more that, like he's mentioned there, Tyson turned up on a bad day, still won the fight, whereas AJ has fully committed himself to becoming undisputed champion of the world. He's changed things up since the last Usyk fight, hasn't he?
Yeah, 100%, and he did what Tyson should have done to Ngannou, dispatched of him as any experienced professional boxer should do. It's just that Tyson had one of the worst nights of his life, to be honest with you. He got through it, but for the average person looking at boxing, you'd think, AJ's probably favourite now, judging off that last fight, but it's not the case. And Tyson himself had a resurgence. He was prepared for the last fight, and then he got the cut, and now he's just carried it on. He's not had any real rest, and he's just getting stronger and stronger. And you're going to be seeing a completely different Tyson than you've seen in probably the last 5 years, maybe 3 years, something like that.
And obviously we've seen your brother Tommy as well. He has become the face of the internet boxing scene, to be honest. He's cleaned out KSI and Jake Paul. Now your name is being brought into the mix, and you know where I'm going to go with this. Chase DeMoor, he said that to me personally as well. He said quite a few choice words that he'd love it. He'd love to take down a Fury. He'd go at your dad as well. He said, Tommy, Tyson.
If he's got these big words to say about us, he better bring his gloves to the press conference when the fight gets happening, That's definitely going to happen, and it's the next fight I want. He's just done my head in with his absolute so, made it a mission to shut this man up and absolutely punish him inside the ring. But all these stupid words tell him to bring these gloves to the press conference, because he's going to be held accountable for what he's been saying. And I'm sure my dad will as well.
Is there active talks about that fight happening then?
Yeah, of course. I've just got something coming up on the 16th, nothing major, but I've got to have a little bit of time out, but I'm going to still be training throughout it, and then I should be ready by the end of May, definitely. So it's whenever he wants it. You know, I'm free whenever, and it's the next fight I want. I don't want any other fight apart from that big idiot. So yeah, let's get it made.
His record's very interesting, isn't it, to be calling out a Fury? Like, what do you make of him as a guy as well? It seems like if you fought and then afterwards, I think you would become pretty pally, to be honest. It doesn't seem like anything he's saying is with malice. He's trying to stir up something and create a bit of a storm online, captivate the fans.
Of course, it's all a character. He's trying to build the fight, but you know, back in the day, people used to be articulate in the way they used to build fights. He's just saying a load of absolute spiel, isn't he? He's saying a load of rubbish, and you know, for this generation, probably it's good because that's what people want to see. But yeah, I don't really need to build it myself. He's doing it all for me, isn't it? So all I'm going to do is show up and shut his mouth for good. You know, one thing I can guarantee with us two, I'm not going to go in there and try and box him. It's misfits. People want knockouts. People want excitement. I'm going to push him to the point of quitting. I'm not going to knock him out. I'm going to physically make him quit.
I mean, I was speaking to Tommy just before, and I mentioned, you know, obviously Jake Paul fight has been done. That rematch is there for him. The KSI rematch is there for him, and even the Logan Paul fight would be massive. It would be cool to see you two on a Misfits card together at some point. Is there anyone else on the Misfits scene that you'd like to fight?
I think there's a couple of heavier guys, isn't there? I'm not really too sure, but my dream match and what I'm hoping for and what I'm envisioning is me versus Logan Paul and Tommy in the rematch with Jake Paul. Now, this is my opportunity with this Chase fella. I've got a dispatch of him in great style, and then people's going, oh, this is Roman Fury. And then I'll get the Logan Paul fella because, you know, I think he should have to come through me before he gets to Tommy, put it that way.
Right. Okay. And what did you make of Logan's fight against Dylan Dennis as well?
It just looked like a guy who's been hitting the weights too heavy and just too big. He looked pretty stiff in there. But don't get me wrong, it was alright for what it was. These guys ain't boxers, they don't train boxing, they're just doing it for a bit of payday, aren't they? And I was expecting, with all the talk Dylan Dennis was doing, I was expecting to both some sort of a fight. It was just a punch bag for however many rounds it was. But, you know, I've got no issues, I've got no problems from what I've seen off that. He's clearly not into boxing, so I can't even see him taking another boxing fight, you know. But if he does, he knows where I'm at. But he wouldn't do that because that would be stupid for him.
Amazing. Well, final message to Logan Paul. What would you say to entice him to fight you down the line?
I say stop doing the fake fighting. Let's do the real fighting. Fury versus Fury, and the winners is the best family name in boxing. How about that? And let's make it WWE. Let's make it an I retire match. Put it that way.
Tag match, an actual tag match.
I'd be up for it.
Misfits do tag team boxing as well, so that sounds amazing, doesn't it?
Tag team boxing. Let's put it in a cage. Let's have a cage match as well. Why not? Let's get it on.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man.